Everything we give you is never enough, my dad said across the turkey, his voice cold like winter. My stepmom Rachel laughed, that mean kind of laugh that makes your stomach hurt. Everyone kept eating like I wasn't even there, like my feelings were invisible. You know what? I said, my voice quiet but strong. Thank you for teaching me that love shouldn't feel like this. The whole room stopped. Forks froze in the air. My dad's face went pale. Rachel stopped laughing. My stepbrother Michael stared at me with wide eyes. I stood up, grabbed my cup of juice, and raised it high above my head. Here's to never seeing any of you again. Then I walked straight out that door. My name is Sophia Bennett. I just turned 20. And tonight, everything changed. Before I continue, comment below and tell me you're listening. What happens next will absolutely blow your mind. My apartment felt like a cave when I walked in. Dark, cold, empty. I sat on the floor and let myself cry for the first time in years. Then I pulled out my old memory box from the closet. Inside were pictures from when I was little. There was one from my 9th birthday party, except there was no party. Just me, sitting alone with a cupcake I bought with coins I found. I remembered waiting by the window all day, thinking maybe Dad would remember. He didn't. He was taking Michael to the amusement park instead. Big boys need big celebrations, he told me later. You're tough, you understand. But I was 9. I didn't understand, I just felt forgotten. Another photo showed me at my school's awards ceremony. I won best reader in the whole 5th grade. The principal called my name. I looked for Dad in the audience. Empty seat. He was at Michael's soccer practice. Again, that's when the loneliness started feeling normal. Like maybe I didn't deserve to be remembered. When I turned 12, something happened that changed everything. Mom died when I was really small, but she left something special for me, a savings account. The bank lady told me about it on my 12th birthday. Your mother saved this for your future, she said, smiling. For college or whatever dreams you have. I felt so happy, like Mom was still taking care of me from heaven. But 6 months later, I tried to check how much was there. $0, completely empty. Where did it go? I asked Dad, my voice shaking. He was watching TV, didn't even look at me. Michael needed it for his computer business thing, Dad said, like it was no big deal. You're young, plenty of time to make your own money. Make my own money, I was 12. That was supposed to be mine, Mom's last gift. Gone. After that, I got a job washing dishes at a diner. 13 years old, lying about my age. Then I cleaned houses on Saturdays, babysat on Sundays. My hands were always red and sore. Kids at school asked why I smelled like cleaning spray. I didn't tell them. I was too embarrassed. Rachel called me one random Tuesday afternoon. My heart jumped. Maybe she wanted to check on me, maybe she cared. Guess what, she said, voice all excited. Michael just bought a boat, a real boat, your father is so proud. A boat, bought with MY money, Mom's money. I said nothing, just hung up. That night I ate crackers for dinner because I couldn't afford anything else. My stomach hurt, my head hurt, everything hurt. I worked 4 different jobs by the time I was 17. Morning paper route, school cafeteria, evening grocery store, weekend babysitting. I fell asleep in class so much that teachers sent me to the counselor. Are you okay at home? She asked gently. I lied, said everything was fine. Because admitting the truth felt like admitting I wasn't worth loving. One day my backpack broke and everything fell out in the hallway. Kids laughed. I picked up my stuff with tears in my eyes. Nobody helped. That's when I realized something important. I was alone. Completely alone. And I had been for a very long time. At 20, I decided I couldn't stay anymore. Every street reminded me of feeling small. Dad's car at red lights. Rachel's store where she never bought me anything. Michael's stupid face on business flyers everywhere. I had to leave. I packed my car with everything I owned. One suitcase, my laptop. A stuffed bear Mom gave me before she died. That was all. Then I remembered Aunt Linda, Mom's big sister. She moved to a small beach town after Mom's funeral. Whenever you need me, I'm here, she wrote in a card years ago. I never went. I was too scared, too young, too broken, but now I was ready. The drive took 8 hours. I watched the ocean appear like magic, blue and endless and free. When Aunt Linda opened her door, she looked at me for a long moment. Then she hugged me so tight I almost couldn't breathe. I've been waiting for you, she whispered. It's time you knew everything. Her beach house smelled like salt air and vanilla candles. She made me hot tea and we sat on her porch watching the waves. I have something your mom wanted you to have, Aunt Linda said softly. She brought out a wooden box, old and carved with flowers. Inside were papers, official documents, letters in Mom's handwriting. Before your mom got sick, she wrote very clear instructions, Aunt Linda explained. The money was only for you, nobody else. She made it legal. I read Mom's words through tears. Sophia deserves every penny. This is for her future, her education, her dreams. Nobody can take this from her. But Dad did take it. He stole it. Aunt Linda showed me more papers, bank transfers, all going to Michael's accounts. Rachel helped him, Aunt Linda said quietly. Look at these emails. I read messages between Dad and Rachel. Sophia won't fight back, Rachel wrote. She's too shy, too weak. They called me weak while stealing from me, while watching me struggle. They planned it all. Then Aunt Linda showed me something even worse, printed records from my school computer system. Someone logged into your account from a different computer, she said. The week you worked on that big science project. My science project. The one I spent 3 months building. My model solar system with working lights. It disappeared the night before the science fair. My teacher thought I was lying. Gave me an F, said I was irresponsible. But the next week, Michael entered the same project in a business invention contest. Won first place. Got his picture in the newspaper. Everyone called him a genius, and I got called a liar. How do you have all this? I asked Aunt Linda, my voice barely working. Your mom asked me to protect you, she said, eyes filling with tears. She knew your dad might do bad things after she was gone, so I've been collecting proof, quietly watching, waiting until you were strong enough to see it. I looked at everything spread across her table, real evidence, not just my word against theirs, proof. When I came back to town, everything felt strange. Like I was a different person now. 3 days after I returned, a fancy letter arrived at my door. Thick paper, Dad's lawyer's name printed on top. My stomach felt sick as I opened it. We kindly request that Emma remove herself from family matters and future planning, it said in complicated words. They wanted me to disappear, to sign papers saying I didn't want anything, to make their stealing legal. They used words like best for everyone and family peace. Like I was the one causing problems. I laughed, but it wasn't a happy laugh. After everything they did, they thought I'd just vanish quietly. I made coffee, even though my hands were shaking so bad I spilled some. Then I wrote back in very simple words. I don't want your money, but I'm keeping the truth about what you did. I signed it with a smiley face, mailed it back. They probably thought that was the end of it. They were so wrong. That same night, I sat at my desk for HOURS. I organized every single paper Aunt Linda gave me. Mom's letter, bank statements, computer records, emails between Dad and Rachel, messages where they called me weak, everything. Then I wrote one simple email. Everyone should know what really happened. I attached every file, every piece of proof. Then I sent it to everyone I could think of. The bank managers, Dad's boss, Rachel's entire office, Michael's business partners. The local newspaper, the school board, even distant relatives. My finger hovered over send for a full minute, then I clicked it. Immediately, I felt lighter, like I'd been holding my breath underwater for years and finally came up for air. Within 30 minutes, my phone started going crazy. Texts, calls, emails. I turned it completely off. I didn't want to hear their excuses or their anger. The next morning, the local news website had a big headline, "Father accused of stealing daughter's inheritance." By lunchtime, it was shared hundreds of times. People were commenting, asking questions. The truth was spreading fast. That very same evening was Dad's huge company party. He'd talked about it for months. Expensive hotel ballroom, important business people, his big chance to impress everyone. I stayed home, obviously, but my friend Ashley was there with her parents. She texted me updates with pictures. Your dad looks terrible, she sent with a photo of him sweating. People keep whispering and pointing. Rachel tried to make a toast, but her voice kept shaking. She spilled wine on her dress. Dad's boss pulled him into the hallway. People started leaving early. By 10 o'clock, the party was basically empty, just sad decorations and leftover food. Michael posted on social media, "My sister is lying, she's always been dramatic and jealous." But people didn't believe him. The comments were brutal. "Show us your proof then. Why would she make this up? Those bank records look pretty real." They couldn't answer, because you can't fight truth with lies. Over the next few days, their whole world fell apart. And I watched it happen from my little apartment, eating popcorn. Dad and Rachel tried fighting back with more lies. Dad did a video interview. "My daughter has been struggling with her mental health since her mother passed. We've tried to help her, but she refuses treatment." Rachel posted a long message online. "Sometimes people create false stories when they're hurting. We love Sophia and pray she finds peace." They made me sound crazy, like I invented everything. like the proof didn't exist. For a moment, I felt scared. What if people believe them instead of me? What if everyone thinks I'm just a troubled girl making things up? Then Aunt Linda called. "Check your email right now," she said, her voice strong and calm. There it was, an official letter from the bank's legal department. It confirmed that Dad had forged some signatures to access Mom's account, that the transfer was done illegally, that they were investigating him for fraud. I forwarded it to the same reporter who wrote the first article. She posted a new story within an hour. "Bank confirms illegal transfer of deceased mother's funds." This time, there was no way to lie out of it. Dad got fired from his job 4 days later. "Effective immediately due to ethical violations," the letter said. Rachel's work put her on indefinite suspension. Michael's business completely died when every single investor pulled their money out. Nobody wanted to be connected to people who steal from their own family. The story kept growing. Local TV news covered it. People in town recognized me at the grocery store. "You're so brave," an elderly man told me. "Good for you," a woman said at the gas station. "Complete strangers showed me more love than my own family ever did. Dad tried calling me 17 times. I never answered. Rachel sent long text messages. "You've destroyed our lives. I hope you're happy." I blocked her number without reading the rest, because here's the truth. I didn't destroy anything. They destroyed themselves the moment they decided to lie and steal. I just turned on the lights so everyone could see what they'd been hiding. That evening, I sat on my balcony with a blanket and watched the stars come out. For the first time since I was a little girl, I felt completely and totally at peace. The following Saturday, I did something really special. I cooked a real dinner. Chicken, mashed potatoes, green beans, and apple pie. Nothing fancy, but made with love. I invited the people who actually cared about me. Aunt Linda drove 4 hours from the beach. My friend Ashley brought flowers from her garden. My coworker James brought a board game. My neighbor Mrs. Peterson brought cookies. We squeezed around my tiny kitchen table in my small apartment and just enjoyed each other. We told funny stories, laughed until our stomachs hurt, ate too much pie. Nobody mentioned Dad or Rachel or Michael, not even once. Looking around that crowded table, I understood something powerful. Family isn't about sharing blood. It's about who shows up when life gets hard, who tells you the truth, who celebrates you. These people, laughing and eating in my tiny kitchen, this was my real family. After everyone left, I drove to the cemetery alone. Mom's grave was under a big willow tree. I brought fresh sunflowers, her favorite. "I protected what you left me," I said softly, touching her stone. "And I'm finally free." The wind blew gently through the willow branches. I swear I felt Mom there with me, proud and smiling. When I got home, my phone showed 12 new voicemails, all from Dad, Rachel, or Michael. "You're a terrible daughter," Dad's voice said, slurred and angry. "I hate you for this," Rachel screamed in hers. I listened to 5 seconds of the first message. Then I deleted every single one. I didn't need their hate. I didn't need their apologies either, even if they ever offered them. I just needed my peace, and peace doesn't come from other people. It comes from inside yourself. I made myself chamomile tea and sat by my window. The city lights twinkled like little stars. They called me ungrateful that Thanksgiving night. But the truth is, I've never felt more grateful in my entire life. Grateful for the courage to finally speak up. Grateful for Aunt Linda protecting Mom's truth. Grateful for friends who loved me when family didn't. Grateful for the strength Mom gave me, even though she's in heaven. People think revenge means making others suffer. But real revenge, it's freedom, it's living your truth. It's walking away with your head held high. That's exactly what I did, and I would do it 1,000 times again. If my story touched your heart, leave a comment right now. Tell me where you're watching from. Let me know I'm not alone in this, because we all deserve the truth, and we all deserve to be free. This is Sophia Bennett, and you're watching Iron Revenge. Remember, you are stronger than their lies. And your truth will always win in the end.